You know, fashion's always been about fantasy, but digital cameras let style editors do much more than remove red eyes. They're changing the size and shape of models and possibly altering our perception of beauty. As Jim Bitterman found out, in many cases, you simply can't believe your eyes.
It's a fairy tale world, airy and elegant, full of beauty and grace, where it's hard to mistake designers' dreams for reality. But a French legislator is concerned young ladies just might. With two teenage daughters of her own, Valérie Boyer worries that the fashion industry bombards people with images that may encourage anorexia.
Today we are forced to imitate bodies that do not exist, and this affects people, especially women.
Madame Boyer has drawn up legislation that would require all photographs which have been retouched to be labeled as such, which would mean, French fashionistas say, that 99% of fashion photos would carry the disclaimer. At Grazia magazine, the editor says retouching is used to enhance everything from landscapes to dress color, and that it's ridiculous to say that it's only used to make already thin models thinner.
The other day, the art director retouched a model not to make her look thinner, but to make her look fatter.
Legendary photographer Dominique Iserman, who shot almost every top model for almost every top name in the business, from Chanel to Vogue, says digital photography has made retouching an essential part of image making.
Then the digital, now you have to find the emotion again, not in front of the person, but in front of the image of the person on the screen.
She and her longtime friend, designer Karl Lagerfeld, agree that the whole point is to create a more beautiful world, not one that is less so.
Unreachable beauty is a reminder to make an effort. Maybe you cannot reach what you see, but you can make an effort. But if you see something, you don't even have to make an effort anymore. So everybody can go, you can let it go. I think it's very unhealthy.
But Madame Boyer argues that the fashion world is what she calls a frustration factory, based on deception.
Why is lying with words dishonest when we can do everything we want visually without telling the readers? I think it is an ethical issue we have to tackle with the media. How far can you go with images?
At least one retoucher asked the same question. Christophe Huet says he's gotten out of the business of beautifying photographs, and not just because it was so difficult to make someone like an aging correspondent look good, but because the fashion clients were pushing him to go too far, to distort reality in a way that he couldn't live with.
It's not the reality.
It's not the reality.
And it never will be the reality. It's only for the eyes.
Using legislation to force labeling of retouched photographs, Huet believes, is foolish. But debating about what modern photography can lead to, he says, is probably not such a bad idea at all. Jim Bitterman, CNN, Paris.
Some don't appreciate the fashion industry's concept of beauty. It's quite a touchy topic. We're delving into this more right after the break. Before the break, we showed you how fashion photographers are using technology to remake models. That's been sparking a debate over the impact on the rest of us. The impossible measurements of the altered image on the left in this Ralph Lauren ad led to an uproar. Ralph Lauren responded with an apology, saying that Ralph Lauren takes full responsibility for the poor retouching job, and said, "These images are not consistent with our standards. We have since implemented strict system to ensure moving forward our images accurately represent our brand values." We got a couple of guests who know both sides of this issue. Daryl Roberts, director of America the Beautiful, also leading a boycott against Ralph Lauren, and Mark Baptiste, noted model and fashion photographer. Daryl, why the protest?
Basically, after Ralph Lauren apologized for the Philippa Hamilton travesty, I'll call it.
Is that good?
We found other images that were just as bad. And not only that, even today, as of yesterday, on his website, he still continues to run ads of models that portray a very unrealistic, unhealthy ideal of beauty. So it seems what you just said about going forward, he will run pictures that portray his brand loyalty or whatever he said, then evidently he's not going to change because they're still on his website.
Mark, why does the fashion industry seem to be obsessed with anorexic women?
That's a good question. The fashion industry is such a youth-driven market, so they try to enhance it to the best that they can to to make it their product more attractive, and because of the age of retouching these days. So they anorexic for one reason. It's created a really big problem among young women, because they think the image is real, but it's not. It's pure fantasy. Because look at the Philippa Hamilton picture, for example. Her head looked a lot larger than her hip. That's a false advertisement. And I'm glad Mr. Lauren come out and do an apology, because it's not true to themselves. Philippa is a beautiful young woman, and she's not even that skinny, but to make the ad a bit more approachable, so they have to enhance it in any way they can. I'll go even further. Twiggy did an ad for Olive Olay, which is the press in UK is an uproar. They have to pull it because she's 59 to a woman that they're trying to make him look like she's 30, which is also false advertisement. She's a beautiful woman, but let the 59 woman look like she's 59, not like 30.
Well, you know, is there anything that can be done with the photographers? Can they say, don't touch up my stuff? Or these women? I don't understand why these women want to be portrayed as these almost skeletal
the photographer,
looking.
Not to cut you off, as a photographer, our job is we are in charge of the image making to a certain extent. Then it's up to the account executive that when they take the picture from you and then they take it to another retoucher. That's why I'm trying to control my own image and trying to do my retouching in-house and you know, to control the outcome. And I'm a father of 3 young women, so I do not want them to think that image that they see in the magazine or portray in a movie or videos is accurate, because it's all altered, it's all tampered with.
All right, Daryl, you get the last word on this. Where does your protest go? Is it going to really get any reaction? You said that Polo Ralph Lauren's still putting out some of this stuff.
He's still putting out. I will say this. I started a Facebook page, and 7,800 people joined the page. And on December 10th, we took an image off his website and put it there so 7,000 women could comment on it. And they talked about how it looks like her hips were missing and all these complaints. On December 12th, I went back to his website, and somehow it looks like the hip had been photoshopped on this image. I actually have the before and after. So I think they're listening. They won't come out publicly and acknowledge it. All we want is for Ralph Lauren to give us a solid commitment that he will cease photoshopping images and in the future portray a more healthy and realistic models in his ad. You know, models that look healthy, not models that create such an unrealistic ideal of beauty that it gives young girls low self-esteem and eating disorders and body image issues. You know, we're trying to, you know, further humanity here.
Yeah. All right. Daryl Roberts, thank you so much. Mark Baptiste, appreciate the conversation, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you
very much. We'll be right back.
I'm all shook up.